It's hard to be kind in this time and age. It's hard to show kindness nowadays. And I don't mean that in a way we're in. It's hard, like literally, to show kindness to other people. No. I mean it in a way we're in how people will perceive your kindness, how people will see your kindness. Because nowadays, it's hard to be kind and not be seen as someone doing this kind of things, with the intent or with an ill will behind the actions. People don't just look at kindness now as it is on the surface level, how it is presented. They see it most of the time, if not all of the time. They see it as something that you have a different intention behind every action, behind every kindness, that you have a hidden agenda hidden behind those actions, those kindness, even though you're doing these things, this kindness out of your heart. And I talk about, always choosing kindness every step of the way, everything that you do, always choose kindness on this video. And it's not, the thing that I'm talking about right now is not something that is contradictory, it's not paradoxical. Because in that video, I talked about you choosing kindness over everything, doing kind things, as much as possible, you show kindness to everyone because we don't know what everyone is going through in each and every day, right? The people that we meet. And this one is more on the opposite side, or on the other side of, or on the receiving end of the kindness that you give. Like the people that receive your kindness, right? It's more so about them, And I know it's a bit controversial when I say that it's hard to be kind this day because of how people will judge you, right? Because I just said that we have different ways of seeing things. Like we have different approaches on deciphering the things that we receive, especially kindness, right? But I'm coming from a point where I met a lot of people and know a lot of people who always doubt the intention behind every action of people, especially when they do something that is kind or something that you will identify as kind. They always think, well, most of the time, that there is a hidden agenda, there's a hidden something that they want to do out of that kindness. They want to get something out from you through that kindness. Like it's like a leech, that's like sucking away your potential in becoming good with people, having great relationship with people. It's one of the things that hinder you. It's one of the things that hinders you in becoming great. Like becoming a great person, that's what I meant. And because if you look at the things that people do for you, like out of the kindness of their heart, and see them as something that have like ill intention behind them or hidden agenda behind them, like you will always be cautious, right? You will always be on guard for something that is not coming, that is not happening, that will not happen. And I think this will be another controversial thing, but I think we should take the kindness that people show to us as what it is, as it is shown on the surface level. And I don't mean that in a way that you receive the kindness and you become gullible. No. Because I know you might think and say that if you just do that kind of thing, you might be a gullible person. You might be someone who's easily to fool because you just believe what other people show you, what they say to you, even though it's presented as kindness. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is being gullible shouldn't be in the same category as receiving kindness. Because when you see people and they show kindness to you, we have like an inherent instinct where we can tell, right? You can always gauge something through the relationship that you have with that person, right? Through the things that you've been through with that person. Because what if you just met someone, who's a stranger to you, who you just met recently, and he or she's doing something like out of the kindness of her or his heart, and then you might think that there's a hidden agenda behind it, like there's an ill will behind it. How do you think will that affect your relationship with that person moving forward? Do you think it will develop in the positive way? Do you think it will get stronger as it is right now? No, right? I don't know if I made sense, but all I'm saying is, I know there are people who've been through tough times, who've met people who they thought were kind, but they betrayed them. I know that. I'm quite aware of those people, and I sympathize for them. My sympathy is there for them. I know that it was hard. Hard is an understatement, but it was very difficult for them to recover from that experience or from those experiences, right? If they met people who they thought were kind and then they betrayed them or they hurt them, I understand that. And I understand people coming from that point, right? I'm not being ignorant in that situation or in that possibility, right? And I'm not forcing them to force themselves to open their heart like immediately to those people or to this kind of people who show kindness, right? All I'm saying is, do not be scared of something that happened to you in the past, and do not use that as something as a guide or as a standard for people, right? Because everyone's different. Yes, it's possible that it might happen again. Yes, there's always that thought. But what if it's not? What if that's not the case? You will cut relationships that could have and would have been great if you just open your heart just a little bit. Trust a little bit. And I'm coming from a point where I've experienced both sides. Though I'm not saying that I know how you feel exactly, but I have an idea how it feels. And I know it's hard. I know it's terrifying to trust again. And I know it's mind-boggling in a way. Because your heart tells you other things while the mind tells you otherwise. Right? It tells you that you shouldn't do this, but your heart tells you something. Because that's where the feelings and emotions come from. Or at least that's what I believe, right? And it's something that you shouldn't stop, or that you shouldn't just let you hinder your own potential to become a great person. As I've said in my video like a month ago, like the one I showed you, is always choose kindness over everything. And I don't mean that in a way wherein you're risking your own well-being, your own self for other people. No. Kindness as a default to you, as a default to your actions, to your decisions. While having yourself as a priority, you can be kind to others. Right? It doesn't have to be you being kind and then sacrificing your own self, your own well-being. No. You can be kind and self-serving at the same time. As I said from my previous videos, at some point, I don't know which one, but I've said it in one of those, and I don't know. I guess that's about it. Stay awesome.